Okay, Amelia's here. Let's slow down for a moment. How have you really been doing? Not the "I'm fine" answer, but how you've actually been feeling inside. I hope you've been taking care of yourself, even in small ways. What I'm sensing is that things are slowly improving for you. Not all at once, not magically, but day by day. And that matters. Healing usually looks like that, quiet, gradual, steady. You've been showing a lot of respect lately. Respect for yourself, respect for your space. And that kind of shift always helps your energy feel lighter. When you stop fighting everything and start allowing yourself to breathe again, your spirit naturally starts to feel stronger. So let's sit with this for a second. The energy coming through right now is not passive. It's not soft or unsure. This is not someone sitting around confused or hesitant. This is bold energy. Decisive energy. It feels like someone who has reached a breaking point, not in a bad way, but in a very honest way. They're done waiting. Done holding everything in. Done pretending they don't care. For a long time, this person has been controlling themselves. Watching every word. Overthinking every move. Acting calm on the outside while their mind was constantly racing. Trying to look unbothered, detached, like everything was fine, but inside, it wasn't. They were very bothered. Very aware. Very affected by you. And now that phase feels finished. Something inside them snapped. But not from anger. This feels more like courage finally taking over fear. Like they reached a point where holding back started hurting more than speaking up. There's a strong inner push now. I can't keep doing this kind of feeling. What I'm picking up is sudden movement. Impulsive. But not reckless. It's more like they thought about this for so long that when they finally decide, it comes out all at once. That's why it feels unexpected. That's why it might catch you off guard. This is someone who hasn't stopped thinking about you. Watching you from a distance. Keeping tabs quietly. Replaying conversations. Replaying moments. Wondering what you're doing, who you're talking to, whether you still think about them. And yes, it's intense. They crave you. Not just physically, but emotionally, energetically. They feel drawn to you in a way that doesn't shut off easily. They are done imagining scenarios in their head. Done wondering, what if? Because what if belongs to someone who isn't sure. And they are sure. Sure about how they feel. Sure about what they want. Sure about you. So now the energy turns into, I'm doing this no matter what. Not waiting anymore. Not risking losing you. Not standing on the sidelines hoping things change on their own. They're coming forward. And when they do, it won't be casual. This doesn't feel like a light message or a random check-in. This feels serious. Honest. Emotional. Like everything they've been holding back finally comes out at once. A confession, in their own way. You might already feel this shift happening. Maybe your mood has been changing. Maybe your sleep feels different. Maybe you keep thinking of them out of nowhere. Maybe there's this strange feeling in your chest, like anticipation, like something is about to happen. That's not random. That's intuition. And I know, if you tried explaining this to people around you, they'd probably say you're overthinking. They'd say it's just memories, or attachment, or repeated thoughts. And sure, science likes explanations that feel safe and logical. But intuition doesn't always fit neatly into logic. Intuition is quiet, but it's strong. Even people who rely on logic still use instinct every day. Decisions, ideas, breakthroughs, they don't come from numbers alone. So don't dismiss what you feel so quickly. Everything happens for a reason. Every pause, every delay, every emotional shift. Sometimes it's meant to teach you something. Sometimes it's meant to push you to grow. To stop repeating old patterns. To stop giving more than you receive. To choose yourself. And look at what happened when you did that. The moment you pulled your energy back. The moment you stopped chasing. The moment you stopped forcing conversations. The moment you stopped being available at your own expense. Everything changed. When you stopped reaching out, stopped explaining yourself, stopped overgiving, suddenly they felt it. Suddenly they noticed the silence. Suddenly your absence became loud. That's not coincidence. All this time, you were giving more than you should have. Loving deeper. Trying harder. And they didn't fully see it until you stopped. Now they feel it. Now they understand it. Now they're afraid of losing it. And that's why this energy feels like movement is coming. Real movement. Honest movement. The kind that changes things. Just stay grounded. Stay present. Trust what you feel. But don't rush it. What's meant to come forward will do so in its own time. And when it does, you'll know. Something's shifted suddenly. And that's why they've started paying attention again. That's why they're watching you, following your movements, noticing things they once ignored. This didn't happen overnight. They've been craving you quietly for a long time, even if they never admitted it to themselves. Your energy has been building, growing stronger, and it's finally reached a point where it's pushing them to act. You've changed. You've become more grounded, more confident, more powerful in your own way. There's a strength in you now that's undeniable. And at the same time, there's a deeply passionate side to you, a part of you that feels intensely, loves deeply, and wants fully. That's the side you usually keep hidden. You don't let everyone see it. You protect it. But the truth is, there's nothing wrong with that part of you. Whether your passion shows up in love, ambition, creativity, money, success, or purpose, it's part of who you are. You care deeply, and when you commit with your whole heart. You have a strong will, a clear sense of self, and an inner voice that now says, "This is who I am. Take it or leave it." And that confidence changes everything. This person feels that shift. They feel your presence even when you're not around. The attraction between you isn't just physical, although that part is intense and undeniable. What's stronger is the emotional pull. They're emotionally invested. They're thinking seriously now. Thinking about what it would mean to truly commit to you, not just stay in a space of distance or confusion. They miss you, not just your body, but your energy. The way you make them feel calm and alive at the same time. There's something about you that grounds them while also awakening something inside them. You're the person they think about when their day finally slows down. When the noise fades and they're left alone with their thoughts. It's you who comes into their mind. And those thoughts have been getting louder, more frequent, more intense. They can't distract themselves the way they used to. They feel lonely, unsettled, and restless. There's a sadness there, a quiet regret, almost like they're realizing they neglected something precious, and now they're being forced to sit with that realization. They keep replaying the past, thinking about the moments they hesitated, the chances they didn't take, the words they didn't say. They want to move forward, they want to act, but it hasn't been easy. Every time they try to get clarity, something seems to block them, doubts, responsibilities, emotional baggage, old habits. It feels overwhelming at times, like obstacles keep showing up in waves. But this phase isn't permanent. I see a cycle coming to an end, a cycle of confusion, avoidance, and emotional imbalance. Something that's been repeating is finally clearing out. This person is learning how to sit with their feelings instead of running from them. They're slowly learning how to balance what they feel and how they express it. There was a time when they acted distant, when they behaved as if they didn't care, as if their feelings weren't real. But actions have consequences. People eventually face the results of what they choose, whether sooner or later. Right now, they are confronting that truth. They're disappointed in themselves. They know they weren't fully present in the connection before. They know they repeated old patterns and made the same mistakes again and again. But what's different now is awareness. There's respect now, real respect for you, for your energy, and for what you bring into their life. They do have genuine feelings for you. Those feelings didn't disappear. They were just ignored. Now they're impossible to deny. They want to spend time with you. They want closeness. They want romance, connection, and depth. The attraction is still strong, still passionate, but now it's paired with intention. They want to start fresh, to leave the past behind and step into something new with you. It feels like they want to say, "Let's wipe the slate clean. Let's build this differently. Let's write a new story together." And the most important part, they are moving toward you. Slowly, yes, but sincerely. Their emotions are still settling, still finding balance, but they're no longer standing still. When they reach that place of inner clarity, they won't stay silent. They won't hold back the way they did before. This time, they'll act. Okay, so let's slow this down for a moment and really feel into this. When you wake up in the morning, just take a quiet second for yourself. You don't need to do anything special. Just look up, take a deep breath, and say a small prayer or intention in your own words. Keep it simple. This isn't about doing something perfectly. It's about staying calm and emotionally grounded. I'm strongly picking up water energy here, which means emotions, intuition, healing, and flow. The more you stay emotionally balanced, the smoother things move for you. And honestly, the energy around this feels very positive. I've been talking about positivity, and this situation really is shifting in that direction. Before, this person had a hard time focusing on the connection. They were distracted, confused, and unsure of what they wanted. Not just with you, but with life in general. They didn't fully understand their own feelings, and because of that, they held back. They didn't show up the way they should have. It wasn't that they didn't care. It was more that they were mentally scattered. There were many things weighing them down. Responsibilities, fear, ego, past mistakes. All of it acted like anchors. That's why before, things felt stuck or slow. That's why you may have felt like you were waiting or carrying more of the emotional weight. But that phase is ending. What I'm seeing now is movement, and not slow movement. This feels fast. Something shifts suddenly, and once it starts, it doesn't stop. This isn't just talk anymore. This person is actually going to take action. You'll see effort in real ways, messages, conversations, showing up, making plans, being consistent. It's physical, emotional, and practical effort, not just promises. I do want to be honest about the past though. There were issues here before: ego, control, manipulation, and trust problems. At times, this person wasn't fully truthful. They acted smart instead of sincere. Their behavior could feel confusing, hot and cold, or unpredictable. That came from a lack of mental clarity. They didn't really know themselves, so they couldn't show up correctly for you. But now, their mindset is changing. The energy I'm picking up now is healthier, more grounded, more aware. They're coming toward you with respect, with care, with a real desire to give love, not just receive it. This connection feels lighter, fresher, and more alive than before. There's passion here, excitement, and genuine emotional pull. They truly want a fresh start with you, and yes, they are deeply drawn to you. You're on their mind more than you realize. I'm also seeing positive changes around money and stability. Financially, things start to improve. New income opportunities, better cash flow, and a sense of relief around finances. Money doesn't feel stuck the way it may have before. There's movement, and there's opportunity. Just one thing to be mindful of: when money starts coming in, try to save a little. Balance spending with planning. This person, or even you, may have struggled with money in the past. Unstable decisions, risky investments, losses through business trading, or impulsive spending. That instability belongs to the past. The present and future show better judgment and more responsible choices. Looking ahead, I'm seeing more structured and respectable paths opening up. Things connected to government work, administration, law, teaching, guidance, or spiritual or service-based roles. These are grounded, stable energies. Work that brings both respect and long-term security. On an emotional level, your energy feels more balanced now. Your heart feels steadier. Your emotions aren't all over the place anymore. There's a sense of inner calm returning. Even physically, your body feels supported, strength, stability, and recovery energy around you. Overall, this reading feels hopeful, calm, and forward-moving. You're stepping out of confusion and into clarity, out of waiting and into action, out of emotional imbalance and into stability. Things are finally aligning, in love, in finances, and within yourself. And the best part is, this doesn't feel forced. It feels natural. It feels earned. It feels real. If you've been dealing with any health concerns lately, especially things like dental issues or thyroid-related problems, the energy around your healing looks much better than before. This doesn't feel like a setback phase. It feels like progress. It could be because the right medication is starting to work, the right treatment is finally happening, or you've made changes in your lifestyle that are slowly paying off. Even small adjustments in routine, stress levels, or self-care are having a real impact. When the body starts feeling safer and stronger, the mind naturally begins to calm down too. Your overall energy feels like it's stabilizing. Now, when it comes to the emotional side of things, one message comes through very clearly. You are on their mind constantly. You feel like home to them. Lately, their thoughts about you have become more intense, more frequent, and harder for them to ignore. They imagine talking to you again, seeing you, being closer to you. They replay moments, Create conversations in their head. And think about what they would say if they finally reached out. And no, those thoughts aren't innocent. There's passion here. There's longing. There's desire mixed with genuine affection. They don't just miss you emotionally, they crave you. You awaken a side of them that is raw, intense, and deeply emotional. A side they don't easily show to others. And even though it overwhelms them at times, they love the way you make them feel alive and connected. What's really pushing them to finally act isn't just desire, it's fear. Fear of losing you. Fear of waiting too long. Fear that someone else might step in. They can feel you changing. You're not as available as before. Not as easy to reach. Not as emotionally open. You're focused on yourself now, glowing differently, and that shift is making them realize something important. You won't wait forever. That realization is driving them to move. They're preparing to make a bold move, not something shy or casual. This isn't a weak message or a random check-in. It's something direct, noticeable, and intentional. It could be a deep emotional conversation, a confession, or sudden contact that catches you off guard. But whatever it is, it changes the dynamic between you. After this, things won't feel the same anymore. The energy shifts from silence to communication, from tension to action, from confusion to clarity. They're done holding back. They've tried staying calm. They've tried being patient. They've tried distracting themselves, but nothing worked. No matter what they did, you stayed on their mind. Now they're choosing courage over fear. The timing feels close, days to weeks, possibly sooner than you expect. And often, it happens when you're focused on your own life, not thinking about them as much. When it happens, you'll feel the intensity immediately. This won't be casual. It will be honest, emotional, and charged. You'll see desire, vulnerability, and intention clearly in the way they show up. They're not coming to play games. They want clarity. They want to know how you feel. They want to know where they stand. They want to see if there's a real future here, and they're hoping you feel the same. Once this bold move happens, everything begins shifting. Communication improves. The connection deepens. Things start making sense. You finally understand what they've been feeling all this time, and it feels validating. You were imagining the chemistry. You weren't overthinking the tension. What you felt was real. And this shift doesn't just affect love. Your mood lifts. Your energy feels lighter. You start feeling more aligned. Things begin flowing more smoothly in your life overall. Emotional clarity brings life clarity. It feels like things are finally falling into place. So if you've been feeling restless lately, sensing something big coming, or thinking about them randomly, that's the buildup. The moment is lining up. They're about to step forward. No more holding back. No more silence. The obsession is turning into action, and very soon, you'll see it for yourself.